USA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings. Welcome to On the Road with Ned Mchenry. Thanks to Travel Auctions.
It's that time again as we welcome to the studio Ned Mchenry. Ned, morning.
Graham, good morning to you. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, welcome back. It's our segment where we go around the state finding out some of the hidden treasures, some of the places we know about, some that we need to revisit. Where are we going today?
We're going to the Flinders Ranges, Graham, and I know we've been there before, but last time we went, we got so many great insights from our calls, didn't we? So many good ideas on things to do and little hidden gems, so I'm looking forward to it today. It's
a great spot, there's no question about that. So if you want to call in and tell us your favourite attraction at Wilpena Pound, the Flinders Ranges, all around that area, there's so much to do and see. We'll talk about the more obvious ones, but if you've got something, some little secret hidden treasure that you'd like to share with us, give us a call, 8223 0000.
That'd be fantastic. Looking forward to everyone's calls. And recently as well, we touched on it, I think, last time we spoke about the Flinders Ranges, Graham, but exciting news for South Australia to have Flinders featured as the second, a must-visit site based on Lonely Planet, wasn't it, Graham? Was it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it is one of the more unique places in the world. Evidently, you can see Wilpena Pound from space because it is such a unique shape. And, the stories, the legends of Wilpena are quite amazing.
Yeah. Wasn't that great recognition, though, for another South Australian area? I know Kangaroo Island has had times in the spotlight as well, and deservingly so, but just great recognition. I mean, what an amazing place the Flinders Ranges is.
Yeah, and it's not that far away. I mean, we sort of talk about Flinders Ranges and up there, but, I mean, South Australia's a really big state. But the Flinders Ranges is in reasonable, driving distance, and the roads are sealed. It's all good all the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, so much to do. So please, 8223 0000. Give us a call. Would love to know your little hidden gems, what you need to do if you do go to the Flinders Ranges. What are some of your favourite spots? Because it truly is world class, isn't it? And there's so much to do.
And we're going to talk about Travel Auctions. They've got somewhere to stay up there that's really worthwhile.
Yeah, we love Travel Auctions SA, and you can obviously bid the price you want to pay. So you always get a bargain there. It's a great option if you're looking for an accommodation offer. And excitingly too, Graham, we've got a guest coming in today, which is something a little bit different.
Yeah, we do, because, as I said, sealed roads, but you can get off the beaten track.
Yeah.
And if you're four-wheel driving, we've got an expert I used to have a four-wheel drive. You can still get into trouble. I've got a four-wheel drive. I can go anywhere. Well, unless you know the tricks of the trade, you can get into real strife.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we've seen four-wheel driving and caravanning really take South Australia by storm. You see them on the road so much, and it's fantastic. What a great option to tour. And a lot of people going to the Flinders Ranges, I'm sure, use a caravan or use a four-wheel drive. So if you've got any questions or you'd like to know something about four-wheel driving, whether you're an expert down the road or, you're just kind of at the start of your journey getting going, please give us a call or send a text in, because we're going to have an expert in after the break to talk all things four-wheel driving and answer your questions, which I'm really looking forward to.
Okay, fill us in. What are some of the best things to do around Wilpena Pound?
Well, one thing that I'm kind of starting to enjoy and get my head around is some of the stargazing stuff, Graham. And it's a bit different, and I know I'm only a little bit, potentially younger, so it might not be...
Potentially younger? I think you're considerably and obviously younger.
It probably isn't, the most normal hobby for someone at the age of 25, but I'm starting to get into it, and apparently the Flinders Ranges is one of the best spots in South Australia to do it. Is that right? You can actually get astronomy tours, and you can go outback with someone who can show you all of that. I mean, what a great idea.
I think we've all experienced it. You look up at you live in Adelaide and you look up at the sky and say, look at all the stars and look at all the planets and whatever. And you think and then you go into the outback where it's really dark, and all of a sudden the thousands or tens of thousands of stars and planets you saw are multiplied, 100-fold. And you sort of think, wow. And Wilpena Pound, when you're that far out, is one of the great areas to stargaze.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's obviously nighttime. But then during the day, I think a hike around Wilpena Pound is just fantastic. I mean, I know St Mary Peak and areas like that, the outlook and what you can do there is just brilliant. So that's kind of your daytime activity, isn't it? A bit of forward driving or some outlooking, with hiking or bits and pieces like that. And then once those stars start to fall and you enjoy that beautiful sunset, the stargazing there, apparently it is just world class. So good.
St Mary's Peak, I recall climbing St Mary's Peak with a group of friends. I mean, it's the highest mountain in the Flinders Ranges, but it's only about the eighth highest in South Australia. And Australia doesn't have too many big mountains, but still, it is a bit of a challenge if you're not fit.
About 1,200 metres of elevation or something like that. Again, but just a great outlook and something to do with the whole family.
When you get to the peak and you look around the pound, it is just breathtaking, quite inspiring.
Amazing.
If you have any stories about travelling to Wilpena Pound and St Mary's Peak, you can share them with us. I have one. This group of we camped. We had a base camp, and we climbed up, and we had and it was, as it can get very hot up there.
Yeah.
Very hot and dusty, and we had a limited supply of water, and it was getting on nightfall, and we built a little campfire, and we'll have a cup of tea. So we boiled the billy, and not only did we knock the billy over, container with all the water in it spilt too. So we went to bed thirsty. Now, we were all very, very close friends. It's amazing how things stretch the friendship. It was like, you decided we should have tea. And it was you the one that put the billy on the fire. Well, it was you the one that didn't put the lid on the water bottle. And, so we had to make the descent the next morning in steaming heat with not a drop to drink.
Oh, my goodness me.
I can tell you that first beer tasted pretty good.
Fantastic.
So there's a warning. Just take plenty of water with you.
Great story. Great story. There's so many good memories and stories that come out of trips like that, isn't there? Have you seen the gorges? Because I actually haven't been there. I'd love 82230000. If anyone's been to the Flinders recently and can give us a bit of an update as to the water situation or how it looks there at the Flinders at the moment. I honestly haven't been there for the last couple of weeks or about a month, so I'm a little bit out of touch with how it looks. But the gorges, apparently, I'm not sure what they're like because I haven't done it, but I have seen that you can look at those, Graham, and obviously the wallabies and stuff are around as well.
Oh, yeah, and the wildlife is great. And the wildflowers in the Flinders Ranges are spectacular. And this is about the time. Spring. We're in spring.
Yep.
So I don't know if someone has been there recently or is up there at the moment. Give us a call. Tell us what the wildflowers are like. Because I know people that go there specifically to see the wildflowers because there's such diversity, so many types of wildflowers that you don't see anywhere else.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And as you said, just not even that far away. Another, it's great to champion our tourism operators in South Australia as well. And one fantastic thing is a scenic flight over Flinders Ranges. Now, it is probably a little bit dearer in terms of, doing your holiday and booking some activities in. But wow, what a once in a lifetime opportunity that is to do a scenic flight over that area. And there's a few providers that do it. Hey.
Yeah. On the subject we were talking about before, Greg has said you should talk with Doug Sprigg at Arkaroola, read the astronomy sessions they run. So, So can we try and get Doug Sprigg on the line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great idea.
We'll try and get that now. It might be a bit of late notice, but if they do run astronomy sessions, it's one thing to look through a telescope and say, oh, that's really interesting. But if you've got someone there that can actually tell you what is happening and what you're actually looking at, that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Sprigg family, as I recall, are very famous in the Barossa. I think they used to run the Wilpena Resort.
Okay. That
would be Doug's father or grandfather. But yeah, Sprigg is a very famous name in the Barossa. Time equals distance over speed. Hang on, someone says, Wilpena Pound is 414 kilometres away, so at 70 kilometres an hour it will take you 5.9 hours with no stops. Oh, this isn't... We've been talking about... Have you heard the story about the federal government wants to impose is thinking about imposing restrictions on speed, reducing speed limits on our rural roads?
Oh, my goodness. I totally understand road safety is important, but that would just do my head in, seriously. Did Peter Malinascus, I saw on Breakfast with the guys, ruled it out, didn't he? He said,
but the state makes the decision. So, the federal government will try and impose its will. And as we know, the federal government often gets its way over the states, but hopefully not in this case. But look, I think if you were driving on a country road at 70 k's, you'd probably end up falling asleep.
Oh, my goodness, mate. That is the worst idea I've ever heard. I do close to 100,000 k's a year in my car. And if they do actually make that change, I will be so extraordinarily devastated because it just means more time in the car rather than actually being at the sites and supporting the operators and doing everything that you want to do. It's, ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, someone says Flinders Ranges pretty hot in summer, so now is the time to go, really.
Yeah, good time.
Now is the time if you want to go and really enjoy the Flinders. As I said, other than the other attractions that we've talked about and will continue to talk about, the wildflowers are something special. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to have a four-wheel drive expert in the studio, so if you have any questions about four-wheel driving, now's the time to ring.
Love entertaining outdoors? Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens is turning up the heat this Radiothon with a $12,500 voucher towards your dream outdoor kitchen or polished concrete bench top. 5AA's Variety Radiothon is on Friday the 28th of November, giving you the chance to bid. Create the ultimate space for summer barbecues and family get-togethers. Proudly designed and built right here in South Australia. Visit 5AA.com.au. All thanks to Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens, Variety SA and 5AA.
I'm with Vincent Scully from Saviour Financial Services. Vince, what is a reverse mortgage?
Unlike a normal mortgage, you never have to make any repayments. You might be retired and still have a small mortgage. That gets paid off. A huge relief. Or you've already paid off your home, but suddenly you need cash for emergency medical needs. Might want to buy a new car, update your kitchen, or take that trip of a lifetime you've always wanted. Or simply, the cost of living crisis is impacting your lifestyle. Also, some of them used it to help their children or grandchildren get into the property market. It's been a game changer for my clients. Whatever the reason, we have the solutions.
So call Vince on 1300 99 8886, Saviour Financial.
Call me 1300 99 8886.
Get the paving that you want at Garden Grove. Looking for pavers to renovate your outdoor area? Garden Grove has everything to make it happen. Come and take a look at the huge range of popular brands. Garden Grove's paving experts are on hand to give you the right advice, so you're getting the paving that you'll enjoy for years and years. Garden Grove, Golden Grove Road, Golden Grove.
Garden Grove, the garden that I want.
Phone 8251 1111 for delivery to all areas. Open 7 days.
Are you dreaming of a holiday? Who doesn't dream of a holiday? Well, Travel Auctions have been sending South Australians on holidays since 1992. What are we bidding for today, Ned?
Graham, I'm constantly dreaming of a holiday, and this one's a cracker. What about a 10-night powered site stay at the Discovery Resorts at Wilpena Pound? Fantastic. So you can take all 10 nights in one go, or you can split them over 2 5-night stays, or share it with friends. So you can actually give your friends 5 nights and you can do five nights. It's just a cracker. Set in the heart of the iconic Flinders Ranges at Wilpena Pound, you'll be surrounded by stunning scenery, rugged gorges and plenty of wildlife, as we chatted about before. You've got a camp kitchen, barbecue areas and a general store, plus on-site restaurant. Everything you need is there. You don't have to go anywhere. You can just relax. Normally it would be about $440, but you decide the price. Just bid what you want to pay. There's no hidden fees, just great deals.
Save on your next getaway and you don't pay the full price. Visit travelauctions.com.au. Bid, win, go.
The wait is over. It's here. The Care Alert Emergency Watch. In a sea of ordinary emergency watches, only Care Alert shines. Fall detection, GPS location. Its brilliance is in its simplicity. All in one elegant waterproof wrist essential. 24/7 protection. Your choice of monitored or non-monitored. This is the Care Alert Watch. Protect the ones you love. Visit carealert.com.au today.
What's worse than running out of gas during the Christmas barbecue or the gas burner cutting out right as you're cooking your favourite steak?
Come on.
At Max Built Trading Co., we've been keeping barbies sizzling and meat medium rare since 1946. From refilling gas bottles to those hard-to-track-down spares for your gas burner, Max Built has quality products and reliable solutions for all situations. Visit us at Research Road, Paraka, or head to our Facebook page for more.
Live your best life right where you are. Explore support at home with Anglicare SA.
5AA Mornings with Graham Goodings.
22 past 11, 5AA. We're on the road with Ned Mchenry. We're in the Flinders Ranges, particularly at Wilpena Pound. Greg said you should talk with Doug Sprigg at Arkaroola, read the astronomy sessions. Well, Ned, unfortunately, we can't. Doug's away on holiday, so maybe next time when we venture into the Flinders, we'll have a chat with Doug about his astronomy tours.
I wonder where someone who loves their astronomy would holiday. Where would be a good spot to holiday?
On the moon?
Yeah, maybe he's off in that SpaceX rocket up there.
Look, let's take some calls. And there's a special call on the line. 5AA's own Jess Adamson. Jess, good morning.
Good morning, Graham. Good morning, Ned. I love listening to you talk about the Flinders Ranges. It makes me want to book a trip again.
Are you a fan?
Well, that's the purpose of the segment, Jess.
That's exactly what you've achieved. Big tick, Ned. I'm a massive fan. We haven't been for a while, but I was lucky enough to be hosting the Tourism Awards last Friday night, and there were some great people there from the Flinders. And it reminded me that one of my favourite spots in the Flinders is a place called Willow Spring Station, just out of Hawker.
Yeah.
And they do this brilliant Sky Trek tour. It's a working sheep station, But the Reynolds family take you on this tour, which has the most exquisite views of the Flinders Ranges around there. I love that Hawker kind of fawn part of it, and Blinman too. I've actually got too many favourite spots up there. So that is a great spot to go if you haven't been. And the other one that I have got on my bucket list that I haven't been to yet is Pitchy Ritchie Park, which is just out of Quorn. Have you guys talked about that one before?
No, we haven't.
We haven't yet. That's the Gibson family. They do that, don't they, Jess?
Yeah, that's Hamish and Belinda, and they do a great job. It's really popular. Great spots, bushwalking, birds, views, it's got it all. So another great spot.
Oh, Jess, you are a ripper. So many great recommendations there. I'm sure our listeners will appreciate that.
Good on you, Jess. Thanks for sharing your Flinders stories with us.
Good to chat, guys.
Jess Adamson, 5AA Zone, with her love of the Flinders. Let's take another call. Steve, good morning.
G'day, how you going, Graham, Ned?
Good.
I went through that area 2 weeks ago on an outback trip. The gorges that Ned's referring to are the Angarichina Gorge and the Brackner Gorge, which run from, if you go up the main road to Parachilna and turn right there, you can easily two-wheel drive it across to Blinman via the Angarichina Gorge, which is beautiful. And if you leave there, you go south about 20, 30 k's, and then you can turn right and cut back across the range again through the Brackner Gorge. And the Brackner Gorge is pretty much a four-wheel drive track. You want plenty of clearance. During the winter, it is absolutely spectacular. I was there 2 years ago when it was after a wet season, and it looked like driving into Brigadoon. It looked like the Scottish Highlands. It was amazing.
Fantastic. Good on you, Steve.
2 weeks ago we went through, and there's only one water crossing at the moment in the Brackner Gorge, but during the winter time there can be 10, 15 water crossings on the long way, but none of them seriously.
Yeah, good on you, Steve. Thanks for sharing the story with us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, look, we've talked about four-wheel drives, and most of it's two-wheel drive country, but if you do need a four-wheel drive and you think I've driven a four-wheel drive, you can get into a lot of trouble. Joining us in the studio is Red Arc's training manager, Steve Moore. Steve, good morning to you.
Good morning, Graham. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, just because you've got a four-wheel drive doesn't mean to say you're going to know what you're doing when you get off-road.
No, exactly right. You really need to have your wits about you, and things can go wrong very quickly.
What's the first bit of advice you'd give to someone who's invested in a brand new four-wheel drive and they think, I can go anywhere, I'm bulletproof?
I really would recommend probably looking into doing a training course on four-wheel driving. Some basic skills are really handy to have, particularly focusing on recovery and things like that.
Yeah. So, are all these sort of four-wheel drive vehicles permanent four-wheel drives these days, or, two wheels and you lock them in?
Yeah, well, it depends on the vehicle. You do have permanent four-wheel drives, or I've got a Hilux, and I have to turn it on to four-wheel drive to engage four-wheel drive, and then also slip into low range. So yeah, depending on the terrain.
Fantastic. Steve, thanks so much for coming in. I think, as we said, caravanning, four-wheel driving, touring, it's just become so popular, hasn't it? And Red Arc are a great business. I've got Red Arc electric brakes for my boat that I tow, and it makes a huge difference. So what are some of the issues that you see with people's setups? Particularly, are there concerns around safety and something going wrong? How do people stop, that happening? What provisions can you put in place with equipment?
Well, I guess it all comes down to your pre-preparing. So, we all know preparation needs to be on board. So if you do have a trip planned, know where you're going, understand the terrain and understand the conditions that you're going to be facing. So if you're towing, make sure your brake control is working, make sure the tyres on the vehicle are sound, and all our wheel nuts are tight. It's things like that. Do I need water? Where am I going? It really does come down to where am I going?
Yeah. So in terms of developing a checklist then for people that are getting into four-wheel driving, what are a couple of maybe pieces of equipment? It might be Red Arc, it might be something else, or what are a couple of checklists that you think they should go through, just as a bit of a startup for someone getting going?
There's like a pre-startup. You could probably search on any internet site where to find a good checklist, and it'll come up with a number of things. But you're looking at tyre pressures, tyre wear, when was my last service, go through all your fluid levels in the vehicle and things like that.
Yeah. Fantastic. So good. You've obviously seen caravanning and four-wheel driving just taking a storm in South Australia. There's more and more on the roads, isn't there? It's great.
Yeah, and that's because South Australia has some of the most impressive scenery and places to go on the planet. Like I've been around Australia, I've done a lot of travel, and I always come back to South Australia and just go, wow, look what we've got here.
All right, well, we're talking specifically about the Flinders Ranges. Are there many areas in the Flinders where it's a no-go unless you're a four-wheel drive?
Yeah, there's plenty of four-wheel drive only tracks in the Flinders, and that's really important. Some of these things you don't want to tackle on your own either. You want to make sure you've got a buddy along with you. At least one or two vehicles is usually recommended. Lots of four-wheel drive clubs go out, and they've always got, plenty of people to get along with as well. So if you're nervous or you're just starting out, you can always look into a four-wheel drive club.
Yeah, I guess it's best to do your homework too. Don't venture anywhere that you're not aware of what's there and what's likely to happen. And conditions change because, there could be water across the road one year and next year there's nothing and the year after there's total wash away. So,
exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve, thanks so much for coming in today. Appreciate your time. That's Red Arc Training Manager Steve Moore giving us a little bit of advice on four-wheel driving.
Have you seen the big Red Arc manufacturing area in South Australia? Manufactured in SA, Graham.
Yeah, very impressive.
Down at Lonsdale.
Local company.
It looks like a castle down there.
It's very good, and we're very proud of our manufacturing in South Australia, keeping jobs here and providing the best product on the planet.
Yeah, we love promoting local. Good on you, Steve. Thanks for that. Almost time to go, Ned. So any final words on...
Final words, Graham. How could I sum this up? Steve's been fantastic. Flinders Ranges is one of the most beautiful areas in South Australia, of which we have several. I love the whole coastline, but inland, I think Flinders is the spot to go. What else do I sum up? I love our listeners, some great engagement. I'm going to do some stargazing. I love you, Graham. Your program's fantastic. There we go. There's a perfect summary to round it out.
Andrew says, fun fact, the base of Wright's Air at Williams Creek, the runway is so close to the pub you can literally park your plane outside the pub. So if you're not four-wheel driving or caravanning up to the Flinders, you can take your plane.
You've just got a handy plane in the garage, I'm sure. Put some Red Arc brakes on it and you'll be fine.
On the road with Ned Mchenry, we'll be back next week with another location around the state.
Launch into study at Adelaide University. Learn from world-class academics in state-of-the-art facilities and graduate ready for the career you want. Search Adelaide University and prepare to launch.
Employees not turning up to work? Vehicles not weighing accurately? Quality principles not being achieved? When things aren't running smoothly, it costs time, money. That's where Diverseco comes in, keeping Australian industries moving with weighing and automation solutions. From scales and weigh bridges to cobots and robots, every solution is designed, installed and supported locally. That's why Diverseco is trusted nationwide. Book your free on-site consult or demo at diverseco.com.au.
Are you dreaming of a holiday? Who doesn't dream of a holiday? Travel Auctions have been sending South Australians on holidays since 1992. And what are we bidding on today, Ned?
This one's a cracker. After talking about the Flinders Ranges, I'm excited. I think a lot of our listeners will be too. It's such a good area, and this is the perfect accommodation. So 10 nights, powered site getaway at the Discovery Resorts there at Wilpena Pound. So good. You can do all 10 nights in one go or split them over 2 5-night stays. You can even give one of the 5 nights to your friends and do the other 5 nights yourself. So there's so much flexibility. It's set right in the heart of the iconic Flinders Ranges, right near Wilpena Pound. You'll be surrounded by stunning scenery, rugged gorges, and heaps of wildlife. Of course, you've got a camp kitchen, barbecue areas, a general store, and on-site restaurant. There's everything you need right there. So normally, Graham, it'd be about $440, but this is the beauty of Travel Auctions SA. You decide the price. You just bid what you'd be prepared to pay, and there's no hidden fees. It's just great deals.
So go for it right now. Save on your next getaway and don't pay full price. Visit travelauctions.com.au. Bid, win, go.
This is November. It's the 2025 NAB AFLW Finals Series. Magnificent! This time, stargazers at Season 1 become real stars at Season 10.
This young star continues.
This feeling. This fire.
And this game's got a bit of everything right now.
These finals belong to all of us. Be there to live it.
From the top shelf.
This is November. See you at the W Finals. Get tickets now at women's.afl.